What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to That Money Guy. Tom is here, and I'm here to talk to you today about Stash. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, most of you, I guarantee, have heard of Stash in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's in a newspaper, whether it's online, whatever. I'm sure you know kind of the essence of what it is, but for those of you who don't know, let me take a brief second to kind of recap and tell you a little bit about what it's about. So Stash is a few years old now, and it's part of a group of apps that are dedicated to helping the masses get started on investing. It's a really fun, exciting way to do it, and they've grown a lot over the years. I was a member from the get-go, and when I started, they had 6 or 7 companies in which they would let you invest in, and then they had a bunch of assortments and things that you could pick, green energy or defense of the nation, I think was one of them. Basically just a whole bunch of ideas, really simple to give you just a general, here's an intro to investing. And I love that app, but there are many like it. There's Robinhood, there's Acorn, Stash, there's a few really big players, and then there's some smaller ones that I'm seeing more and more now. But like I said, I've been using this app for a few years now, and I like it, and I've been using it on and off. Not really the way that you should be using the stock market, and the reason I've been doing that is because up until recently, my goals, my financial goals and deadlines, they haven't been in the right place. I've had the wrong idea about what I want to do with my money, where I want it to go, how I want it to grow. For me, it was all about saving for things. And I'm great at saving, wonderful at saving. But when it came to having money sitting there with no purpose, in the sense of I'm not saving for a TV or a car or a trip, and it's just sitting there, it's like, well, there's things in my life that I'd like right now. And so I would be really bad at holding that money. But about 2 months ago, which if you go back to my other videos, you'll kind of learn that I just recently came out of a really bad financial position. I started getting back into Stash now that I was sort of cash flow positive again. And what I had done is started taking big chunks of my paychecks. So I have 2 paychecks. I get paid every other week, generally 2 in a month. And I have a big chunk for rent, for car insurance, for groceries and things like that. And then I have a nice, generous amount of playing around money. And so I said to myself, you know what, I'm tired of not having money for things. I'm tired of not being able to save for things. And so I want to get started on this path of being an adult, on being responsible, and finding a place for my money. And so I started getting back into this app. And so, I'm going to show you my portfolio. I'm going to go from top to bottom, show you what I have, and basically just to give you guys an idea of what I do. And I'm not a financial expert. I don't claim to be. That's not what I'm trying to be. I just want to kind of show you guys what I do, how I do it, and possibly be able to tell you why I invested in it. I know terms of the stock market. I know basics in the sense of I know what bullish versus bearish is. I know what a short is, but again, this isn't really what this channel is about. We're kind of about being just simple. We want to just make our money grow, become better, get ourselves out of debt. So I'm just going to show you what I have and why I had it in the most layman term possible. Now we're going to switch over to my screen recording. Oh, before we do that, I just wanted to get your feedback. I've noticed that since I've been filming on my iPhone, the resolution in the video seems to be a lot better. Would you guys tell me, let me know if that feedback's the same? I was recording on my my webcam, but if you let me know in the comments, that'd be great. Thank you. All right, switching now. Alrighty, so here we go onto my little handy dandy. Oh, Domino's. That'd be nice, but no, we're not going to. No, so today, like I said, I'm just going to show you my stash and show you what I have. My stash value is $646.63. As you guys probably know, that is going to fluctuate and go up and down quite a bit. For 2 months worth of investment, I'm pretty happy with it. My portfolio is very, very basic, as you can see. I have a pretty simple portfolio here. My biggest investment has been into Apple. Recently, I thought that was a good idea because I saw ahead of WWDC that they were going to be releasing some really cool new features and stuff, and sure enough, that's helped me pretty well. Netflix, I bought into for the simple reason that right now with this situation that we're in with COVID, a lot of folks are at home. A lot of folks have a lot more time on their hands, and Netflix is putting out some really, really good content recently. And the next one might be a little bit controversial. A lot of you might be saying, well, Thomas, yeah, you shouldn't really be buying into the airlines right now. And that might be true, and that probably is. But I've been seeing the airline shares, as if you will take a look here, I've been seeing them drop over the course of this year like crazy, going from about $30, $20, $30 a share. They've just been dropping down to about, 10 up to 20. So really, really kind of big fluctuations there. And I thought, you know what, I may as well just try and get on that bandwagon. And this money, as you can see here, the $68.43, this is money that I was prepared to possibly lose if necessary. I don't particularly foresee American Airlines going under. For those of you who might not know this about me, I grew up in Europe. I travel as a kid and as an adult a lot back and forth from Europe. And I know certain things about American Airlines in terms of their government connections and contacts. And I see it being very difficult that essentially the unofficial national carrier of the country going under. Amazon, I love Amazon. I am a Prime member. It's always treated me well, and really, I mean, if you look at their 10-year chart, can you really argue with that growth? It's great. I look into all of my investments, particularly ones I'm not as familiar with, but I try and keep an open mind. As you can see here, I've got Northrop Grumman. I love what they do. I love the fact that it's a company dedicated to basically the defense of the United States. They have some really great contracts. I'm not a particularly pro-war guy, but I do absolutely love the military, and I love businesses that are all about developing flight, developing speed, developing tools and toys and mechanisms. I'm a very hands-on kind of person, so I love that about them. Let's get out of here. Unilever Group, for those of you who don't know, Unilever is basically a company dedicated to foods. It comprises of many, many different smaller companies that are basically owned by this one big umbrella corporation. And that is Unilever Group. I thought, what with the situation we're living in right now, that might be a good company to invest in. And so far, it's not lost me anything overall, really. My next would be Coca-Cola Company at $25. I invest in Coca-Cola because I love Coca-Cola, and if you couldn't tell, I have a bit of a problem when it comes to unhealthy eating and drinking, Coca-Cola being one of my biggest vices. And I felt a sense of obligation because I will drink the product, I will love the product, I will enjoy it, and so I thought to myself, well, put your money where your mouth is and invest in the company too. My next is Sony, or Sony, as a lot of people call it. I call it Sony. but I bought it just for the play around factor that the PlayStation 5 is going to be released, and I can't imagine that hurting their business in any way, shape, or form. Berkshire Hathaway, $10.62 a share. Nothing too crazy. Again, I'm starting from the ground up here. The only reason I bought into that is because I have a personal obsession with Warren Buffett. I think he's a really cool guy, really down-to-earth dude, and I like him a lot. And my last company that I bought into is Hershey. Hershey, again, is, if you look at the chart here, it's got some pretty good growth. But the reason I bought into it is not necessarily because of the growth, but because of the fact that, again, with this situation we're in, I'm imagining a lot of folks stuck inside. They're going to resort to comfort eating. They're going to resort to, let's do what makes us happy, even if it might come at the cost of our arteries. But yeah, basically, again, this is about 2 months worth of investing. I have an auto invest on. So every week, $5 goes in there, and then recently, it's been about $300 a month getting put into my stash account. And so far I love it. I'm really happy with it. If you guys do have any questions about that, anything about my numbers, my returns are slightly skewed because, like I said, I've invested with Stash quite far back. I have quite a lot of history with them. So $222 is not all from this $646 valuation. I don't know why that won't reset yet. I guess it's just to kind of show you how much Stash has made me over the course of my having the app. Nothing in my retirement or nothing in my custodial. So yeah, guys, that is my Stash portfolio.